warm overnight because the honey don't flow if it gets too cool. And so when it's warm, and then you have uncapping knives that cut that outside layer of wax off, then the frames drop into a big centrifuge spinner, and the honey spins all out like that, and then you separate the wax from the honey. And then just depending, I guess, on your size of operation, we put all our honey into 45-gallon or 55-gallon barrels, you'll call them in the U.S., and put a lid on them and a seal, and then that's how it sits until we're ready to either, to melt it, to bottle it for selling, or if it's going into the mead tank. And usually it works out for me. If I'm doing one of those 1,000-liter tanks, I use about 600 pounds of honey, which is, a barrel that's not overfull, but, one drum of honey. So we warm it up enough to pump it, and pump it over into the mead tank, and put in a little warm water at first, not too hot, just enough that the honey really dissolves. And next thing you know, I did one today actually with that blackberry honey, and that. So I've got 950 liters sitting there waiting for the yeast for tomorrow. I think it's going to go in, if not the next day. I've got to cool it down enough to get it ready to start, and so. That's how we do it. I'd like to go and see some of the other commercial mead makers, how they handle honey, because I never learned it from anyone other than just trial and error. Like I melt a barrel of honey a day here and stuff, and I designed my own kind of a system, a little heater to warm it, and a pump that drops down into the barrel, and filtration system that met the code and requirements, and that's how I do it. But I'm sure I could go out and find some, higher tech ways to do it, but this still works for me. So,
well, as long as it's working, that's the big thing. Do you guys filter a lot on the way from the hives to the mead fermenters?
Not really. No. Actually, and I do it just so I don't get any bigger bees' legs or wings, I guess, in my piping and stuff.
Yeah, nobody likes bee-bits in their mead.
But it's not a concern. I don't do the second filter, the 80 mesh. I only do it to a 60, I guess it is, and stuff, and that seems adequate. If we're, like the honey to bottle and stuff like that, needs 2 stages. It needs the 60, or the 80 mesh, the finer one, I said that backwards the first time.
Okay.
But anyway, that's all we do. We don't do any of that, high pressure filtration and stuff like that, which people don't like to hear about, and I don't blame them. There's no need for it. Honey is too wonderful a product. Why mess with it?
Oh, I totally hear you.
You don't need to. Yeah.
I can hear AJ's keys going frantically as she takes this all in.
Oh yeah.
she's gonna open her own place in a few years, so she's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially when you talk to the Canadian meaderies, she's taking lots of notes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
more
been
than welcome to visit anytime you like. Absolutely, that'd be great to have.
Well, I will definitely put you on the list of places to visit if I ever end up in that half of the country. I've been to the East Coast so far, haven't gone west yet.
Oh yeah, well, Western Canada, British Columbia. Many people argue that it's the nicest part of the country, or the continent even, up here and stuff.
Well, when I flee the United States, when we implode in the fall, I'm going to be going to British Columbia. So I'm going to go just before they put up that wall they've been talking about. It's like I'm going to go just ahead of it. Because I heard Trudeau invited us all up there that want to get the heck out.
Oh, that's cool. Well, you got my invitation too, but I don't know. I'm not even sure I want to be in the same continent when that happens.
Oh, no, right? Yeah, I don't blame you a bit. Maybe we all need to go to the Yukon or something.
Yeah.
We can sever it and sail away.
Yeah. Well, see, in that case, Canada needs to build a wall. It'll keep all the riffraff out,
Yeah.
So, now you've got a hard stop coming up, right? Didn't you say you had another thing that was happening?
Yeah. We've got a.
So I didn't want to keep you over long because I know you got things. But one thing I wanted to ask you is if you can tell us what new things do you have coming up?
Well, I mean, we're going to modify a few of our meads, using the critique sheets that we get from the Mazer Cup and stuff that, keep improving and fine-tuning. But I think, what I do want to do is try to get into more retails and get a person on the road that, works with chefs in restaurants and, to try to get our mead pairing suggestions into a little broader reach, rather than just, because, as great as it is to sell it all here, you're very limiting in your potential reach, I guess, and market out there and that. But again, it's like I said before, I don't want to just go out there and get everybody all excited about it and then not be able to service them after I get them interested. So, step at a time. You get somebody that's really good at it that can go and puts a routine where every 2 or 3 weeks they visit all these people and do tastings at the local liquor stores and stuff like that. And BC has we have government liquor stores and private ones, and with our license, we're allowed to sell to all the private ones. It's regulated, but it's not controlled, I guess, or I don't know. That's one way to say it, I guess. If you want to go into the government liquor stores, it's a lot stricter. They'll tell you what the price is, and they don't pay you till after it's sold in their store. And if you ever get caught not having an extra pallet in the warehouse, you get penalized and all that kind of stuff that I really don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, that's the way a lot of states do it here. It's state regulated in the U.S. and state by state. Some states are like that and some aren't. But North Carolina's like that. And the reason why we don't get a lot of mead down here is, that's through the distributors, is because they're like, well, just to come into North Carolina, you have to have way more mead than you ever wanted to possibly set in a warehouse for long, for quite a while, and maybe it'll sell and maybe it won't. So just give us the mead and we'll think about it. It's like, really? Seriously?
And so I don't know.
Well, and we talked to.
In our independent stores and stuff, we can go in and do tastings and do what we can for incentives to get them to do it and to offer our products, put it in better placement on the shelves and things like that. And,
nice.
And working with restaurants, like restaurants can buy from us now. In fact, they just changed our regulation now to where they don't have to pay full retail price, to the restaurant owner. They can get it at a wholesale discount too, and then sell it for a better price to where more people should try it and offer it for those food pairings and that kind of stuff. So our system is slowly but steadily opening up and becoming a little more, I don't know, post-prohibition days.
I think that may depend a little bit on the province you're in, though, because Monroe's Meadery was telling us last week that it was actually easier to export mead to Japan than it was to get it into the restaurants locally.
Yeah,
But Ontario may just be extra stupid.
Yeah, they have a few of their winners on the law books there too.
Mm-hmm.
So do we all, I guess, in our own little areas. But so anyway, I think we covered all this stuff fairly good. It's been excellent. It's been a pleasure talking to you and getting through this stuff. I got a few more minutes if you want, or if you got ready to roll on, we can do that too.
No, we'd keep you longer if we thought we could get away with it, but I know you got something coming up. So, new meads coming out? Anything you're willing to tell us about?
Well, just the blackberry one, which we've started on right now, and some really exceptional honey and good fruit, and I don't know. I'm hoping for great things, but that's all really. Other than our a raspberry dessert mead that's the next one on the list, and I've got the fruit lined up already, so it'll happen here by later summer.
Nice. So you'll be bringing some of that to the Mazer Cup then, right?
I hope so. Yep.
If you don't enter it, at least bring a bottle so I can taste it. I'm a big fan of raspberry. I'll be there.
Yeah, raspberry is one of the nicer fruits, boy, when you put it in with honey and that. It's divine. Yeah.
It really is. It balances really, really well. Well, gosh, it sounds like you guys are up to some fun stuff up there. I'm gonna have to get my butt in gear and get up to Canada and start doing a little driving around. Yeah.
Well, come into Vancouver. It's just such a beautiful city, and then you can go over to the island, visit some places over there, come into the interior a little bit, the land of lakes and mountains, and lots of tourist, kind of attractions and stuff in this Okanagan Valley.
I might do that. Yeah. I'm going to be in Tacoma, Washington for a couple of months when my daughter has the baby. So when she's done utilizing me as a housekeeper and general dog's body, maybe I'll rent a car and tootle on up there.
Yeah, great idea. Yeah, we're not that far. Tacoma, I have a sister down in that area of Seattle kind of thing. And then, but yeah, it's only 2 or 3 hours here in Canada and Vancouver.
That's not bad. Yeah. All right, well, and I will
definitely
go ahead and order my passport renewal next week. So.
Yeah, you want that. Yeah. And then we're inland from Vancouver, about a 4.5 hour drive into the Okanagan, like Kelowna, Vernon, kind of is that area, Penticton. The big lakes and stuff like that, and kind of a nice area. Sometimes wish I didn't work so hard, wasn't so busy in that summer season when everyone else is out enjoying our beautiful area. I'm busy, but the winters are rewarding, and we make up for it then. So
sounds like it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's been a slice.
Yeah,
it's been a good blast.
Yeah. So, all right, well, thank you for coming on the show, and we'll look for more interesting things from you guys as you go forward, and, don't forget to send me any updates, articles, and or press releases that you have so I can put them up on GotMead for you.
Yeah, we must do that more often. So I'll put the bug in my daughter's ear, yeah.
Yeah, do.
All right.
Please.
Yeah. Well, thanks so very much for thinking of us out here in the West, the way west north. And we'll see you and talk to you sometime soon.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you so much for coming.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So long to all the mead lovers out there. Keep it up. Yeah. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right, I've got another promo for them. So, book an educational tour of the fully and safely screened indoor observatory, and also watch in-season demonstrations of honey extraction and bottling. Learn from our resident beekeepers about these marvelous insects and their intriguing social structure, I gotta learn to read, that has survived for millions of years. Visit planetbee.com to book your educational tour. So I think that would be really cool. They got an indoor observatory. That's kind of neat.
That is neat.
So, like, the bees aren't in the cage, you are.
Well, this is best, really. You wouldn't want to infringe upon their habitat.
Well, of course not. I mean, that makes perfect sense. So I think that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right, so moving right along, and Wayne's been very, very quiet, probably munching on his sandwich or something in the background there. So moving on to making mead back to basics, what have you got in store for us today?
Well, we're going to talk about stabilization, and I guess we should start with what is it?
Aha. Do you want me to answer the questions, or
sure,
do you want to take a shot and then have me do it?
Okay. This is you and her, so go for it.
Okay. Well, in general, stabilization, simply put, is stopping the biochemical activity that's going on in a fermenting mead. And essentially, you'll do that through one of two means, either physical or chemical, or a combination of the two. So essentially what we're saying is that the yeast that are actively fermenting in your must that's turning into a beverage, after primary fermentation is done, the bulk of the yeast will essentially stop themselves, and they will slowly precipitate out of suspension and leave you with a clear mead. However, if you are not absolutely complete with the stabilization process, and if you have residual sugars in the mead after the primary fermentation has stopped, or if you intend to back sweeten, which is to add some additional sugar in order to sweeten the final resulting mead, and you're not completely stabilized, then re-fermentation can happen. And as we said earlier in Ed's part of the program, that's not a good thing. That's generally not a good thing, and especially not a good thing if it happens after you've bottled, because then the the excess CO2 that's generated during that re-fermentation can create all sorts of nasties. At the very least, you'll have a very carbonated mead, and in the worst case, you'll have bottle bombs and explosions on your hands. So, stabilization is important.
Kind of sounds like it. We've got a message on the GotMead page from Paul Johnson. Just wanted to say hey.